last day of February 2015. It is time for our top 10 movies of 2014.
Without Brandon.
Yes, without Brandon. He's always holding us up. He's always got something to do every weekend. This is why it took so long. But now we're here. We've decided to kill him. He's out. And now we're doing our top 10. And we haven't organized it at all. We know our list. Who's going first? And what we're going to do, by the way, 2 parts. We're going to go 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, and so on until 6. And then part 2, same, 5 through 1. So right now, 10 through 6, and some honorable mentions. So, who's going to go first?
Paul.
John.
I went first last time when we had to delete it.
Yeah, we filmed it a while ago, and we had to delete it.
John, obviously.
Paul,
So my
You go
number
first.
10. Come on.
Ben, you're the ones that everyone cares about.
So come on.
Paul, me, then Ben.
Me and Ben are the.
One line. One line.
Well,
I
if
cut
you
this
found
out, but
it,
this
you go
is
first.
our thought process. This is our thought process.
Yeah, but we are wasting
Who's
time.
going first?
We're wasting time, so.
Who's going first?
Number 10.
Go in the line. In a line.
Boom, boom, boom. The trifecta.
Yeah, alright, alright.
It's the hierarchy.
Honorable mentions.
Brandon
Honorable mentions
Bingham.
first.
Oh, honorable mentions.
The
What
same.
was that movie?
No.
Come on. What was that movie called again?
It's not an honorable mention if you can't even mention
No,
it.
no, it's... Oh, yeah, Book of Life. Okay, I was thinking Life came first. Okay, Book of Life. That's my honorable
You
mention.
can talk about it if you want, but I guess not.
Okay.
At the same time. You said boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Do you
I
want
thought
to
you were
do-
going to write
do you-
number 10 after your honorable
No,
mention.
No,
honorable
honorable
mentions
mentions.
first.
That's not usually how people do, but whatever.
Dude.
My honorable mentions are Book of Life, Hobbit, and Godzilla.
My honorable mentions. You don't want to talk about them?
Well, I want to keep it
We'll
brief.
talk about...
Okay.
Fine, I'll talk about it a little bit. Book of Life, pretty good animated movie, interesting style by Guillermo del Toro and some other Mexicans. Oops, I sound like Sean Penn at the Oscars. Then, obviously, Godzilla, awesome, third act, one of the best, most memorable, a few of the most memorable moments of the year, and Hobbit, it wasn't as good as any of the other Lord of the Rings movies, in either of the other 2 Hobbit movies, but it was still The Hobbit, and it still it was a good conclusion overall. It was a good enough conclusion.
Okay, I have more honorable mentions. One of them is obviously Godzilla for the same reasons. Big Hero 6, I liked it more than Godzilla, but I don't want to mention it because it won the Oscar, and I'm really jealous because How to Train Your Dragon 2 definitely should have won.
Yeah.
And Lego Movie should have got
Spoiler alert
nominated.
for my top 10. So yeah, Captain America 2, obviously, both movies with yesteryear action stars in a redefining role, I guess. Edge of Tomorrow and John Wick, both those. The Lego Movie, obviously. I really wanted to make that on my top 10. And then Gone Girl. No, because I found 10 movies that were better. So let's get on with it. 10 through 6, do your number 10.
Number 10. Big Hero 6, which I thought was going to be a... Like, okay, Disney did it, and I thought it was just going to be like...
Generic.
Generic. But then, like, and I thought it was going to be like Disney, nothing dark, which this movie wasn't dark, but then,
It
like...
had some like, scenes.
Yeah,
that-
yeah, it had
It's
some
good.
scenes that were kind of like, don't do that, you're a Disney character, and I don't know why I was
It
saying
had
that, but
deeper
I was kind of,
feelings.
yeah, it had some deeper feelings to it than what it seemed like on the outside. So, yeah, that's my number 10.
Yeah, Disney has a formula. It is generic because you've seen it before, but it works. It's like a formula. It works over and over again. You haven't gotten tired of it.
Alright, my number 10 is also Big Hero 6. I am mad that it won the Oscar because I prefer How to Train Your Dragon 2, but it was definitely still a good movie, and it was a little generic, but you still can't help but enjoy it. I like the superheroes and the animated movie. It's nice to look at, although not as nice to look at as How to Train Your Dragon 2, and it has an extremely lovable character with Baymax, and I did have a good time in it.
Right. My number 10 is the much better How to Train Your Dragon 2. Enough said. Better
Number
animation.
10.
Yeah, number 10.
He's seen more movies than
I
me.
know,
I've seen-
I know, but still.
I've seen all the Oscar bait movies, all those. Yeah, they're all over the
I've
place.
seen some.
Alright, number 9, John.
Okay, number 9, Godzilla, which it would probably be lower if Godzilla wasn't as awesome in it. Because, I mean, he's Godzilla and he's finally been done, like, really, really well. He seems like he's really huge, but he doesn't even seem like a threat to humanity as much as he is with the battle between him and his, like, foes. But the the what's the word? Well, Godzilla looked really, really good, and it had some really awesome moments, some of the best moments of the year. But overall, it wasn't enough to, moments weren't enough to make it high on the list. And really, it's only on the list because I didn't see a whole lot of movies this year, and the other movies I did see weren't that good, except for Big Hero 6 and Book of Life.
Alright. My number 9 is Captain America 2: The Winter Soldier. Awesome that they made Captain America cool. Probably one of the most original or different Marvel movies, aside from Guardians of the Galaxy. It had a really awesome political thriller, spy espionage feel. The action scenes were so good. Probably my favorite action in any movie this year. Cap was cool again, which I didn't like him in the first or in the Avengers, but now I do like him. Winter Soldier was a really cool villain, and yeah, it was, it definitely, like, obviously all the Marvel movies have been good, but this shows that they're getting even better and more mature, and I think Avengers Age of Ultron is hopefully going to take some stuff from Winter Soldier.
Also getting more cohesive. I said this in our first attempt to film this, but it didn't get through into YouTube, obviously. I like that one because it felt like part of the universe. I just wanted to say that because everything had an impact.
Definitely.
So I just wanted to say that because I haven't said that on a video, as I just realized. My number 9 is Birdman. Now, if you saw our Above Average awards, that was my film that I wanted to see but couldn't see, but through the powers of things, I saw it and it was really good. If you've seen my review of it, the one-take style of it was really cool. It really put you in the movie. You felt like you were following it. You felt like you were backstage. It took away from the cinematic experience, really, but that's it. It still felt like an experience because you were really with it. The characters, the portrayal of these actors were very different because they were realistic. There's a rumor going around that Edward Norton was just playing himself, which I think is really cool. And it had a lot to say about critics and the way people view just stars and celebrities and all that stuff, and it was really impactful to me.
Okay, number 8, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, which, if you didn't know, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and a Hobbit fan for that is, but this movie was the second best. It was better than An Unexpected Journey, but it wasn't as good as The Desolation of Smaug. And even though the action scenes were numerous, they were still pretty good in my opinion. I still had fun watching them. I loved, the Middle-earth universe, and, but the villain wasn't that good, the Pale Orc. Like, he's the thing that's holding the movie back because, like, Smaug is so awesome, but Smaug, I mean, I know. But
It's such an obvious thing.
yeah, it's an obvious thing, but he's not as big as you think he is, and that's what's keeping the movie back. Because in the Desolation of Smaug, they made Smaug really awesome, and in this one, he's like a throwaway character. So yeah.
My number 8 choice is the Lego Movie. Probably one of the most original, clever, and witty movies of the year. Definitely should have got the Oscar nomination. And I love all the licenses that they got. All the characters interacting was so great. The story was going in. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be too childish, and it definitely wasn't. The story, I love what they did with the twist at the end and giving it some awesome heart. And it had some great themes about how, Legos and big corporation tyranny, and then also the importance of originality and creativity. So that was great. And plus, it was just fun, and Batman was in it.
Do you think the Oscars didn't consider it because of the ending? Because it wasn't animated?
Oh.
I never thought of that. Well, we'll
Maybe.
never know. Okay,
It's
Maybe.
That
Could be it.
Okay, my number 8 is a film that I haven't reviewed and I don't plan on. It's really small. I don't think anyone's seen it, but it's called The Babadook. And I hate horror movies nowadays because all I see on TV for horror movies is just stupid trailers with a bunch of really cheap jump scares. There's one jump scare in this movie, and it actually frightened me. Every scare in this movie is silent. It's very eerie. The way they film it is just perfect. The way they set everything up, every scare is just so well done. And that's mainly because you care about the characters and you're really with the characters. And I mean that in a really deep way because this is not a horror movie. It's a psychological thriller because the monster, it's not a monster movie, don't expect that. It is a movie about grief about someone having a dark past and how they deal with it. And the monster really represents grief. And everything that happens, I felt, everything that happened to the monster, I felt like the character was doing to their grief. And plus, you never really know if the monster's real or not. So that's not a spoiler, but like you just never know. Like, is it all in your head or not? So it's really intriguing.
Where are we at now? 7?
Yes.
My number 7 is Captain America 2, which definitely made me like Captain America now, because I didn't like him
I
in...
told you.
I know, well, I was playing Skyrim, okay? Because it was after spring break, and I didn't get to play any Skyrim on spring break.
You should have.
But Captain America 2, I did end up seeing it, and it was really good. As I said, it made me like Captain America now, because I didn't like him in the first Captain America, and I didn't really like him in the Avengers. But now, like, I liked his new outfit, it was better. It looked more kind of like functional rather than just for show. And he had really awesome action scenes in it where he used like stealth and like kind of like, I guess, espionage and stuff. Well, that wasn't his combat, but that was in the movie. And yeah, so he just used a lot of stealth throughout the movie and kind of like, not trickery, but like deceit almost to like bypass things. And they had to like, you know, they had to like blend in with society because they were sort of being hunted down by the Winter Soldier. Because they were being hunted by the Winter Soldier, and the Winter Soldier was also a good villain, and I liked, I pretty much like all the characters in this. Like Black Widow is better in this, and yeah, obviously Captain America's better.
Right. My number 7 is Edge of Tomorrow: Live Die Repeat, Live Die Repeat. All you need is kill, and obviously this was
That's the original title of the thing it's based off of, just so you know.
Okay.
It was the biggest surprise of the year for me. Awesome action movie. It was a return to form. Well, I guess you could say form, but it's probably the best Tom Cruise has ever been. Certainly the best I've ever seen him. And the movie is much more than just an alien action movie, but although it is a really fun action movie, I love the way they worked it in the Groundhog Day type thing, where you wake up and start the day over again every time, and they work it into the plot great, and the way they have the movie organized, it doesn't get old. Like they put original twists on it the whole time, and I really liked Emily Blunt's character too. She was probably the best female character of the year. And the aliens, I like the style in which they presented the aliens. It wasn't your normal.
Yeah, they were erratic. They were just so like.
Yeah, it was like uncomfortable to watch them because they didn't focus on the aliens. It was about story.
They felt like a threat because none of the action scenes were like, there was no high shots, I noticed. Like, it was all like on the ground and you never knew where the enemy was, and that was really cool.
And it had a great, witty ending.
I know the last 5 seconds made me laugh out loud so hard, and I'm so mad that it's not on my top 10 list. So my number 7 is, I like to call it the Frozen of this year in terms of the box office, because it's Guardians of the Galaxy. No one ever expected this movie to make so much money, and unlike Frozen, I'm glad it made the amount of money that it did. Because I don't know what to say about it. It's so funny, it's so exciting, you like all the characters, the visuals are fantastic, the story is good. You don't need to see the rest of the Marvel movies to see it. It's a good standalone thing, as well as the title. There's no number in it. It's a good original thing. It's not what you're expecting until you saw the trailers. Directed by James Gunn, great humor. Amazing.
Alright, number 6, X-Men Days of Future Past, another Marvel movie, which Marvel has been really...
Technically it's Fox.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's
it's
a
still a Marvel thing.
It's a Marvel
So,
pump, but
no, it's
movie,
not.
thing with the same universe as the other
it's-
guys, like the Avengers.
it's not
and the
made by
universe
Marvel.
from the Marvel
It's not
universe,
made
they
by
bought away
Marvel,
part of
but
it and went to
it's a
Disney,
comic.
bought the Marvel
It's
thing, but
still
then went away
a
from
Marvel
They still part
property.
of Marvel because it was from the comics, and then Fox bought it, and now we're here.
And Spider-Man.
Okay, whatever. So yeah, it's the sequel to First Class, and X-Men Days of Future Past.
The sequel to the X-Men prequel.
They're my favorite X-Men
Okay.
movies, but that's pretty easy to say, because the other ones, not all of them were that great, obviously. And,
Well, except for
It-
X-Men 2, that's the best one.
yeah. Not mine.
I like the first two, like both of them.
Oh, X
So,
is probably
yeah,
my third favorite.
I like
the first one. I really like it.
I like the old characters and the new characters, kind of not really clashing, but you know.
He wanted them to meet like
like I thought they met because I've never read the comics, but
That's possible.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
Yeah, it could be like a portal that they
It's
go
a
through.
comic
Yeah.
and whatever. So, and I love the characters, and they put Quicksilver in it, and he's awesome, and the plot was good, and Magneto was awesome in it, and a good villain.
Alright, my number 6 choice is How to Train Your Dragon 2. My favorite animated film since the last How to Train Your Dragon. First, I'll just start by saying it's my second favorite soundtrack of the year, and How to Train Your Dragon always has awesome music. But aside from that, it looks great. Probably the most beautiful animated movie that's the style I like. Some people prefer like a drawing style, and they find that
If you
more
take out
beautiful.
the characters, it looks live action.
Yeah,
Like, seriously, it does.
it's awesome. And then I love the expanded universe. It almost feels like getting into it's like how Star Wars has a lore to it. It feels like How to Train Your Dragon is kind of getting that. And obviously the characters are great. Hiccup and Toothless are awesome, and the story it's very grown up. It's kind of Lion King-esque with the it's not just for kids. It's got some hard-hitting stuff in it. And I do, I like the symbolism too. Some people, it is a little cliche and obvious, but I do like that.
That was my first problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. They're like they're dragons. I get it. But do you know when the sequel's coming out? The third one? I think it's like 2018.
2007.
17 or 18. I've seen two different things
Mm,
at different
I'm
times.
not sure, but I'm definitely excited for that.
I had a big thing spoiled for me. Have you had anything spoiled for you for the third one? I've had a big thing spoiled for me.
The
I
movie?
didn't know they were.
How to Train Your
How
Dragon.
do you know? How do people already know stuff about it?
Because they were books.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
I'll
they're
explain to you.
loosely based off the books. I don't want
But
to.
Dean DeBloy himself said something about the movie. He confirmed it. I'll tell you about it later.
All right,
I won't tell you, but I'll
I'm
tell you how.
excited for it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I am too.
Yeah. Also, the action in the movie is also really cool. It's almost like live action.
But
So,
he
yeah,
never
it's-
used his sword to fight though. Like it was all dragon,
Yeah.
like flying and stuff. But that's still really cool.
Total
And
package.
It's one of those movies that
Animated movie.
probably would have sucked if it were live action. But it's fine because it's
Well,
fantastic.
duh.
Yeah. But
There's dragons in it. How can it be live action?
there's dragons in Hobbit.
Besides, okay, listen. Besides the CGI,
They're not voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, and that's a lead into my number 6.
they don't talk.
Shh. That's a lead into my number 6, which is The Imitation Game. Now, this movie is very by the numbers. You sort of know where it's going to go. You
By
sort
the
of
numbers, and it's an enigma machine.
no, but it is by the numbers. You sort of know what's going to happen and where it's going. You can sort of predict what's going on. You can sort of tell certain things about the characters where it's like a spoiler, but no, you get it. So I'm having a hard time summing up why I like this movie so much. I don't know if it's how tense it is, and they're so far away from the action. I don't know if it's Benedict Cumberbatch's performance. I love him so much. I mean, the last scene in particular wouldn't have been as moving unless he were playing that character, because the expressions on his face, oh my god, like it just sold it so well. And it might just be his performance as well as like how tense it is. The writing was really good. Obviously, it won the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. Original? Adapted? Adapted, okay. Well, whatever. It was still really good. And the soundtrack was fantastic. I listened to it. And Alexander Desplat should have won the Oscar for Imitation Game, not granted him Best of Film.
Well, Hans Zimmer should have won the Oscar.
Yeah. But he had to steal the show somehow, so he kept his face, and Alexander Desplat was talking about his
Yeah.
wife. He just,
Look at my scar.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, at the Oscars, Alexander Desplat talking about his wife's sitting right there, camera looks at her, but Hans Zimmer's right here.
Yeah, they put all the composers in a box to the side. They're like, all right, we don't want the camera to pan over you because nobody knows about you. So just stay over there until you're called. Grr.
Alright, so I think that wraps up part 1. Tune in for part 2 where we talk about 5 through 1. Aim for average.